Hey, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello. How are you all doing? Welcome to the Nightly Exchange. Liberia Watch News on YouTube and Facebook. Um, if you're here with us already, welcome. And once again, sorry for the delay. We keep apologizing until we get it right. Sorry for the delay. Um, we were trying to handle some things in the back. We're supposed to have a guest tonight. Hopefully they will show up. If not, maybe tomorrow. So we came on a little late today. We're here today again to talk about Liberia as usual. Our motherland, lovely Liberia, to talk about things that are going on. Sometimes political, social, and other things. Everything counts on this platform. We don't just do politics alone. Yeah, so thank you for joining us if you are joining. And if you're there, you're not commenting, we don't see you, please share the show. Share it. You can find us on YouTube, on Liberia Watch News, and Facebook, Liberia Watch News as well. Now just look for the Nightly Exchange. You will see us on there. And here with me tonight is Mr. Maximan Famula and Mr. Jalahu SB Cindy. We're here kicking it off tonight. Before other people will join us later, we hope our guests will join because we have something very important to talk about, but we don't know what's going on. Well, we'll see. Time will tell, right? So, guys, welcome to the show. You're muted, Cindy, if you're talking. Family?
I'm here. It's good to be here. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
I'm too low, huh? I'm having
Yeah,
audio problem tonight. I don't know why.
You're fine to me.
No, I think I'm having audio problem. Now, let me log back in.
Okay. Family, welcome. And can you tell us what's on your mind?
what a great day. You hearing me?
I can hear you, but the echo is coming from you now.
Echo? They
Or
shouldn't do that
something
thing to me.
playing behind you.
Uh-huh. It better now?
Is a little. I can still hear it, but it's
Better?
yeah. Okay, guys. Family is getting ready. He's setting up. I think he got a little thing going. We are here tonight. To talk about. We have a couple of things to talk about. Well, hopefully we're supposed to talk. One of the things we're supposed to talk about tonight was supposed to be about a community that some leaders in our communities were coming on to talk about the situation that is going on in that community, and which is West Point District, I think number 7. Um, I don't know what's going on, but we'll see if they can still make it on tonight. Then we will have them on. If not, maybe tomorrow or the day after. We'll see. But yeah, what's on my mind. Liberia is always on my mind. What's going on in the country and things that are happening in and out of our governments, and you know in the public and everything, and developments, things that we want to see in the country. Those are the things that we come here to see, the development in the news and stuff, and talk about it. And yeah, So we're here waiting for the others to come on. And this is like we said before, this is an independent platform. Anybody can come on here and give your talk, share your views. Let's argue. Sometimes it gets intense. Everybody taking that side. I have a side. I'm not a journalist. Everybody on here got their side. We're all here to talk about Liberia, however way we feel. Yeah, so that's what we're here to do. If you want to be a part of this discussion, you just let us know in the comment section. We'll send you the link and then you can come on. Or sometimes we put a number up. Let us know. Text me and you can be on and be part of the discussion. And we got Sandy back, so we're gonna go to him and test his audio and see what's on his mind. Go ahead, Sandy.
It's good now. Let me know if I'm clear, but I think I'm better now.
You are.
It's good to be here. Hopefully, we have some of the other guys join us. I see Afra in the comment section. Hopefully, he join us tonight. But I'm looking forward to talking Liberia. As always, Liberia is on my mind. There's several, things going on, the good, the bad, and some of the things that need to be worked on. We see that our vice president is in China,
Yeah.
working on some deals for the country. Hopefully, those deals can be met for Liberia for the sake of our development. Uh, we saw that also the president took some actions today. I'm sure we're going to talk about some of those things that are happening in the country.
Yeah.
But we want to have an engaging audience tonight. So hopefully that we got people that will join us so we can talk about Liberia. At the end of the day, Liberia is always our common denominator, as we always say, the only country where we can never be deported from. So I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. Yeah. We seen the vice president in China. Speaking of Chinese. Hopefully, look, he has a yellow machine. Yellow machine saga again. Yeah.
The yellow machine thing never get done. We
They
see
need a
that. Well, we thought that people have secured those yellow machine already. So I don't know what they're doing. They're bluffing the Liberian people or what?
they need to pin those machine blues. And maybe
All
the
right,
other
thank you very much. I think you can hear me now.
yeah, we can hear
I'm
you.
never
Go
talking
ahead.
about the yellow machine.
All right. Let me give my opinion. That yellow machine can wait. We already got
Yeah, tell us what's in your
one
mind.
yellow machine sitting right here already. The queen for the yellow
Me, I get
machine.
clearly home.
Jara, we see I got my yellow book. See you talking about yellow machine, I got my yellow notepad.
Okay, it will work.
So what a great day today. This weekend was fascinating because I had the chance to spend with one of our colleagues that is always on the show. I was with my man Batala Board, and we did some real bro time in Pennsylvania. It was a good time, and I flew back early this morning. Even though I had my own stress, but we still make it up to come up and talk for our country, Liberia. And today there are a lot of things permeating the corridors of the country. We have the LTA box being suspended and turned over to the
That's our
anti-corruption.
first discussion.
Yeah, so anti-corruption has been asked to bring out proceedings leading
Is that
to
what's on your mind?
yeah. I mean everything about Liberia now, the
Yeah.
LTA saga, and the robust and action from the president. Look, President Buaka. People always say he's slow, yes, but President Buaka always do his due diligence, and that's one good thing I love about this government. They take their time to take action because they want to make sure they get the facts, they get the information. And we also saw the vice president along with the entire team in China. Transport ministry was there. The how you call it? The procurement team was there. and everybody that's supposed to be part of the proceeding, everybody was there. Journalists were there, and they were doing they were checking out. You remember at some point there was uh, some arrangement made for this yellow machine, and it brought a lot of pandemonium in the country, and some people felt that the price was exorbitant. And President Bouakai, in his wisdom, thought it wise to take our vice president off the park track and put him on the racing track. And today we have a vice president that is not parked. He's racing. Now he's in China. He's doing what he's supposed to do as mandated by the president to make sure they meet up with all those people who doing what is supposed that showcasing what they have and which one fit within our budget. You remember we have a $20 million budget for that project, and it is always good to come up here and discuss issue that is relevant to Liberia. Any other thing you're not farming inside, but a real issue you're farming inside. Thank you.
Absolutely. So yeah. So let's get into the discussion now that you started with the LTA. We always saying people there's this fun thing like, oh, don't let President Bouakai suspend you, you won't come back and something like that. So the president, does a lot of suspension has done a lot of suspension ever since he took office. So this is one of them today from the executive mansion. Rice, President Joseph Yuma Bouakai Sr. has, with immediate effect, suspended Mr. Abdoulaye El Kamara from his position as acting chairman of the Board of Commissioners of the Liberia Telecommunication Authority. The decision followed a report from the General Auditing Commission, the GAC, highlighting serious allegation of corruption and financial mismanagement. That's a big thing. According to the report, Mr. Kamara is linked to grave financial irregularities and misconduct during his tenure as chief executive officer of Tema Corporation, particularly in relation to transaction involving public funds. So, in his letter of suspension, the president said, in keeping with the government commitment to transparency and accountability, Mr. Kamara is suspended without pending the outcome of a full and independent investigation by the Liberia Anti-Corruption. So with this, guys, he's suspended without pay. Usually, when people are suspended, is this what happened, and what are we seeing this president doing? From that being according to his agenda or one of his promise to fight corruption. You think the Liberian people have? I know some people are saying that he's not doing it, but from what we've been seeing so far, coming after people who have done these things suspended, and maybe sometimes they don't come back. You think President Bouakai is keeping up with his promise of fighting corruption, or you think this is just like people say, if you're not closer to him, some of the picky thing. What do you think about
Look, that's not true because even this person who was suspended has relation to the president. So we can't talk about. It's not about family. It's about the president continuing to reaffirm his commitment of his government to serving the Liberian people. He continued to re-emphasize that, and I want to give it out again to the president for this far-sightedness to quickly take action. I know this has long been overdue, but they said it's never too late to do the right thing because this issue came since 2023 coming dragging on to 2024. There were damaging GSE audit that proved that there was huge financial misappropriation done by this entity, and there were public outcry. There were other grouping from other media outlet, most
Mhm.
especially Spoon, beating on the president to take immediate action on this particular. But the president was like I've always said, taking his time as always. He is a slow person, but when he takes a decision, that means he have probable cause
Mhm.
for which he takes those decisions. So he always do his due diligence before he go ahead. He's not going to President Barker is not moved by yo or cho. You can make noise all around the place. If you get tired, you go sit down and sleep. But when the president decides to take a decision, he makes sure he looks into it and make sure there is something and substantive. Then he can take decision because it's not easy. Like he have already said, the justice ministry is overburdened with so many cases. And that's the reason why you have too many things lagging back now, especially with the GSC audit going on to LACC. LACC have completed more than 27 conclusively and concluded more than 27 cases they finished with, and they just passing over to the prosecuting department now.
Mhm.
But at the Ministry of Justice, they don't have any, that's why people now, that's the part the president need to focus on. Are we going to have a specialized code to prosecute people who are allegedly accused of corruption or people who hence are caught in the cookies jar? Are we going to have a specialized criminal code for that? Because we have too many all of the court cases are all of the courts are already, there are so many cases on their docket, so they can adjudicate all those cases in the timely manner. So for that reason, we have this problem. So I want to give it out to President Bouaka for this decision. And there are many other people um who may have done similar thing, but it is a process. So they are taking the time getting the fast. To get fast in Labrador is very difficult because Labrador is not completed digitalized. You see what I'm saying? So many of the things are flare receipts, flying papers, and other things. So it kind of a little bit difficult to really get this expedient
So,
investigation.
from that, what's the benefit of the holding these people accountable or firing them when they can't be prosecuted by the court?
Well, they're going to be forwarded to court, but the time is going to take the court because the court has schedule. They have cases that
Right.
uh, that they need to look into. So I don't know whether it's a first come first serve basis on that. I don't know much about the case on the docket. I don't know whether it's a first come first serve basis, but I know that the executive has already acknowledged that there are a lot of cases on the docket, and the court cannot meet up with most of them. So there are many people. In fact, recent report came out. There are many people kept in pre-trial detention, and they have not even got the chance to be heard to see whether they are right or wrong, or they were accused. They just behind back
Is
because
it
there's
fair to them though that the government don't have enough?
yeah, but they're working on it because I mean at the justice ministry again. It's not easy. Many at times, some of those cases, people bring the cases to the court. The court don't go out looking for cases. The court not going outside to go bring you there.
Mm-hmm.
When the case comes to the court get the up and get create an environment to listen to those cases. So many people bring people like many of those smaller court people taking appeal, people bringing the court every night and then people in courthouse. Now another area that just how you go to church, you see people going to church most of the time. That how in the courthouses now the courthouses are very busy. People get going there for sometimes for no reason, no sound reason. So there are some people there with so many cases. I mean the cases are so many that it's overwhelming. But for this case now, I think there is a need. That is the recommendation. I think the government will have to see into it that they have a specialized code for corruption, and that is just separate. That just
Okay.
separate it from the other cases. And even though it's a criminal case, but that just be a sub, code just for corruption exclusively, and
Thank you.
so that quickly getting things out of line.
Yeah, Sandy. Same question to you. What do you think? You think President Bouaga is on the road here with his promise, or you think he's doing the people say what they nitpicking or whatever?
Well, first, we want to thank the president for going after those that are being accused of corruption. Going after the LTA boss or acting boss send a signal out there that we are at the point where corruption is being fought, and with the right process, following the constitution of our country, we can get there. Now, I see some folks celebrating because this person, Kamara, is quote unquote related to President Bouakai. I do not know of that relationship, but they said that's President Bouakai's nephew. So people are celebrating that the president has now, he went after his own nephew. Initially, we saw that other people were being targeted. We saw people that were not directly part of the Unity Party, but were in certain positions were being removed. But now we are seeing that alleged family member of the president is being targeted. Now, the situation at the Liberia Telecommunication Authority, for me, is a litmus test for the president's governance philosophy. Particularly around the rule of law, institutional respect and anti-corruption reform. That's how I see it. President Bouakai, action to suspend not just Kamara, but anyone that is accused of corruption, is signal zero tolerance for corruption, which is what we need. It's good for our country. But we should not, that this level of suspension, immediate suspension, raise some serious constitutional and institutional concerns. Okay? Now, the president is a joke now around President Bouakai that when you are suspended by President Bouakai, you're not coming back.
Nope.
So far, I think we have only seen one person that came back, the National Election Commissioner, right? And maybe correct me if there is, anyone else. But this prolonged suspension without due process undermine civil servant protections and set a dangerous precedent. You cannot just suspend people without due process. Okay? The Supreme Court has ruled, and they have given a stay order, which has been entirely ignored by the president. Okay, which again, it weakens public trust when the president will just suspend, no due process, ignoring the Supreme Court stay order. It weakens public trust in the rule of law, and basically it just go against the separation of power.
Okay.
We have also seen the president appointing active officials without Senate confirmation. Okay? Without Senate confirmation. I mean, there was this guy, example, this guy, the electricity guy, LEC guy. We saw the fire, the heat was put behind the president on that.
He went for confirmation, right?
Later on, after he had served in that position.
He was acting.
Again, you cannot appoint acting officials according to our constitution without confirmation. But again, the president's excuse was, or formulated their excuse was, we needed somebody to do the work immediately. The formulated debate. But again, let me end quickly.
The president has the right to.
We are 3 years to 9. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let me end.
The president has the right to put people in acting position because when the president submit people named to the Senate for
I'm being hijacked.
in acting position.
And I'm host. I'm not being protected at all.
Oh
I'm
yeah, go ahead,
hijacking
Brother.
anytime. Mute
Yeah.
yourself, please.
So while we commend the president's efforts to fight corruption, we have few recommendations, and hopefully the president will hear us out. Let the president respect the Supreme Court rulings. We want the president to reinstate suspended commissioner based on that stay order from the Supreme Court and allow due process to go on. We want the president to stop indefinite suspension. We understand the need to fight corruption, but suspension is not a punishment. If you suspend somebody with no formal charge or resolution after a year, the government is mandated to prosecute, and if you cannot prosecute the person, you must reinstate the person.
So
If you fail to do that, you are politically sidelining people. It doesn't signal reform. It doesn't signal fighting corruption. That means you are just politically sidelining people. So we want you to prosecute. Prosecute. We do not just want you to suspend, but we want you to prosecute. I, again, employ the president for fighting corruption. But if Sandy steals from the Liberian people, and all you did was suspend Sandy, maybe Sandy stole $10 million, and all you did was just suspend me, no prosecution, I walk away with that $10 million. What is that? What punishment have I received?
that was a question. What good is it if you can't?
What good is it if I cannot give back the $10 million, or I can't even be sent to jail? What good is it?
So you did a court, like Formula was saying earlier, the court are very packed. You think the government need to have a special court for prosecuting these people then?
I mean, there are probably them excuse of the court being jam-packed with cases. There are priorities. There are priorities in the country. Corruption should be on the top of our priority. Fighting corruption should be on the top of our priorities. Don't we have court buildings? We do. Can we equip those court buildings? Yes. Don't we have lawyers in the country? Yes, we do. We have suggested this before. In the various counties, we have judges there, lawyers there. They barely see cases. Most of our cases are around Monserrado. What can we do swift?
So we need a decent.
What can we move some of those cases to those counties? Those petty criminal cases, what can we move them to those counties? There's one of the biggest prison compound in Liberia is in Zredru, Nigeria. Move some of the criminal charges to Zredru. Empower the court in Zredru. Move some to Cape Mount, River Sets, around Nimba. And then we prioritize this corruption case or cases in central Liberia, around Monrovia area. But the excuse that we don't have courts, our criminal system or our justice system is packed with other cases, then that means we will never fight corruption. We will just suspend Sandy. He walked away with his $3 million. His children enjoy that money. Sandy moved or applied to another job somewhere in the US. He continued his life. But if Sandy is punished, he faced the system, the money is taken from him, he goes to jail, Sandy will never do it again. But not only that Sandy will never do it again or may never do it again, other people around Sandy will also be thinking twice whenever they think about stealing from the country.
Thank you, Sandy. So, Family, like Sandy said, you think decentralizing the court system will be the way to go right now for us to have this thing on?
Look, there's a lot involved in decentralizing cases of that nature. and there are a lot of security implications. There are a lot of logistical problems, and it takes a lot. Look, not all criminal cases you can just take and send it to Grand Gillette or you send it to Sino. Some of
Well,
those, look, it's a good idea. It's a very good idea, and we cannot sit on a show and think that there are not people in the government who thinking that this is a brilliant idea. There are people who in the government think that we can do it. It's a possibility, but there are a lot of things involved. There are a lot of things involved. But be as it may, we all can just acknowledge the government to set priorities straight. To since it is part of the agenda for this transformation that President Bouaka wants. Yeah, you can for the sake of expediency, you can expedite that process. You can like how they can do the county meet, how they can do the county meet, they put people into zone and belt and region. You can have one criminal code um in the southeast and structure it in one county, that all the other people on the other side say any criminal case we have on our side, corruption case, we'll try you in this region. And we can do that also on the western belt, the south, the west, and the northern belt. We can do everything just how they can, you know, they can do the grouping during the county meet. So they can also do similar case like that. You don't have to have the course all over the county, but you can group it like that. But again, there are logistical issues and there are other infrastructural issues, infrastructural concerns. So yeah, the government can work into can work on that, and they can come up with something positive. Yeah, it's possible. To some degree, agree with Sandy, but I think it needs certain modification, and the government need to do some more work to ensure that people who are actually accused of corruption and gone through all of the investigative phase, they should be tried speedily, because justice delay is justice denied. When you delay the case for so long, and some people have the opportunity to disappear, and that prolonged elongation or delay with time can always corroborate evidence. People can get can destroy things, especially Liberia. You already know the kind of a country we have. So yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I think the issue, like Cindy said, it would work. I understand your concern about the security, but I think, like Cindy said, high profile cases stay central Monrovia, which is central Liberia, which is the Maserati area, Monrovia, and then those one who which are not so much, high profile and stuff, they send them in the counties. I think that would be preferable instead of us talking about building new buildings or bringing new breed or whatever. Is that is a long way to go. So I think this is very you know this
Have you
will
seen the courthouse in Sandy hometown? Have you seen the
it
courthouse?
can be renovated. I think that would be much better than that would be much better than building a new building in Maserado. You're muted, Sandy, if you're talking to us.
To be honest, I mean, I was saying upgrade it, but there are
Yes.
beautiful courts. I don't know if you've been to the counties. I travel extensively around Liberia. One of the best courts you can ever see is in Zredru, built by Samuel Doe. Zredru is a beautiful layout city, thanks to Samuel Doe. And the court there is beautiful and big, but it's empty.
Mm.
The only case that I go there when someone slash somebody pound one, or they take somebody, cassava from their farm. The entire court is empty pretty much. Why can we empower that court house? We can do the same thing in Sino, where there are beautiful courthouses as well. Maryland, beautiful there. So all we need to do is renovate. I can't talk tonight for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Renovate those things. Empower the court system in those counties, and then bring the high profile cases to Montserrat,
Yeah.
to around Monrovia. But the excuse of we don't have space, we don't have this, we don't have that, like you said, I'm like, you took it from my mouth. Just a delay can be just a deny.
Absolutely.
You know, and corruption cases should not delay. You know, and we can't just, again, I'm repeating myself here, but suspension doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything.
Thank you, Sandy. So with that, we're moving on to guys. Last week we talked about the senator of Nima County, Nyan Twine. I'm saying his name right?
Yeah.
Okay. We talked about him blasting Astala Mita Astala Mita for not meeting up with their promises or their applications or whatever, and they wanting new dues and stuff like that, and that he would not. The Nima caucus have decided not to sign that issue in case that stays the same and everything. And today, I mean this weekend, former senator candidate, what's his name, Ida Gongowe, was speaking at a community engagement forum in Ganta over the weekend. Said despite nearly 2 decades of operation in the county, Atala Mista has not met its commitment on infrastructure development, job creation, and community benefits as outlined in the agreement. The people of Nema deserve better. Asada Mista has made millions from our soil, yet our road remains in poor condition. Our young people remains unemployed and communities lack basic service. She's not a Senator candidate said that this is not just neglect, it is injustice. She stressed the need for a comprehensive review of the company operation in agreement with the government. Nothing that any extension or renegotiation of the MDA must prioritize local development in whatever this is. Yeah, so I guess we understand what they're trying to say. On this note, guys, on the week, not on the weekend, but I think last week too, we saw some women came out the call and said women are Nema, going against Senator Yan Twine for what he said about this company. And today Madam Ida Gongo is saying the same thing. So, I mean, are we, the people in our area, are they trying to stop their leaders from fighting for them, or are they just, are they just satisfied with the little thing that Asada Misa is doing for them, and they don't want these people to speak on things that they're saying wrong? I don't even know how to put a question, but what do you guys think about this? Because it kind of baffles me when I see Liberians always complaining about stuff. The country is not doing it. The government is not doing it. And when these people stand up, they're trying to talk for them. The same people they're trying to talk for, those people try to fight them because a little that the mediocrity is so used to it, like those little things they see it as the biggest, and when they deserve more, when there's more supposed to be done for them. So what do you guys see? What do you think about this? Oh, I tell them starting from the my country something. Sandy?
Look,
Sandy, want to go first?
our people, unfortunately, our people are used to what we would call instant gratification. They are instantly gratified with the little things. So when you see the big picture, or when you demand for bigger things to happen, they are angry with you. They get angry with you. Our people would rather you give them a better right now than to build a road that will give them access to other communities later. They rather you give them a bundle of zinc now, maybe give them some cash now to pay their children's school fee right now, than to do a bigger development later. What the senator has been doing or is doing is advocating for bigger purse for the people of Nema, holding ArcelorMittal accountable for things that they have promised in the past but failed to implement. The senator is saying, look, you have promised us certain things in the past. You're trying to divert the money you're supposed to pay to the people into promises. I will build road. I will do this. I will do that. But these are things you have never done in the past. But that's why you continue to tell the people. So, and when you do that, the government, instead of tasking you or demanding you to meet certain obligations, financial obligations, they let you pretty much flow because you have made promises to build roads, to build schools. And even if you build the schools, they don't even meet standards. We have seen a school built by, I think it's the Western Cross or ArcelorMittal, one of them, that cannot even be matched to a government elementary school in like.
Mm-hmm.
You say you will do good things, but your workers are staying in tents. The road you are using now to go to your site is deplorable. And how long have you been in that place? Many years.
Yeah.
It is now again because you want to build, you're trying to build some factory to add value to your iron ore. Now you're coming back making promises so that the government can let you ride free.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what those people are fighting for or fighting against the senator for is, again, instant gratification. They are thinking that the quote-unquote factory that is about to be built will bring the 6,000 work that the ArcelorMittal promised the government. So they are thinking about, okay, these people will bring jobs. These people said they will do this, they will do that. But the senator is saying, you don't need to beg them for those jobs. If they put the factories there, they're going to find workers anyway. And who tell you that there will be 6,000 jobs? Who tell you that they won't even bring their own people to do the main job, and you just do the, quote, the little one,
Mm-hmm.
the little one. So our people are not seeing the vision from the senator perspective.
Cindy, should there be some kind of education, some kind of awareness? Because don't you find it so disturbing that these people say, oh, the companies are here, they're not doing this. They're not doing that one for us. They're not doing that one for us. The government not doing nothing. The government not doing this thing. And the people who are responsible to do that, when they start to do it, they fight them.
Exactly.
Should there be some kind of awareness or something? Sometimes it disturbs me so bad, like I don't even know how to put it. What do you think?
Well, awareness alone cannot do it, unfortunately. And the reason awareness is part of it, it can play a part. But as long as the people remain hungry, as long as they remain hopeless, as long as they do not see jobs in the private sector, they will navigate to any promises from, especially from foreign organizations and foreigners. Our people have little trust in their government. So when a foreigner bring a company and make promises to the people, they will gravitate towards that person. So whatever their government officials are saying, they won't listen. And for Madam Edith Gonglowe, she's taking a political stand. That's all politics. It is all politics. She knows that if she was elected senator, it would be in the interest of the people for her to have an oversight. This is an oversight. This is the senator, part of his responsibility to have some level of oversight over any organizations or operations within his jurisdiction. He's a senator of NEMA. So he is pointing out issues affecting the people of NEMA, part of his oversight responsibility. And Madam Gongore is using this to be on the side of the people that are complaining to look.
No, Senate correction. She is actually pointing it out too.
Exactly. Okay. Then I misspoke. Thank you for that correction. I appreciate that. Then I misspoke because when you read it, you were reading like, I don't know. But
okay. I was reading it like it was raining, okay?
Thank you. But then that's a good thing. So now you see leaders are pointing this out and say, look, people, let's look in the long term. We deserve better than what these people are giving us. But again, our people, if you're telling them, okay, you deserve better. But they are saying, well, we are hungry now.
No, we like the one we got now.
We are hungry now. When we go to the elections, the same politicians, when they go to the election, what do? Do they really sit and promise and tell the people what they're going to do? Or do they just give them the hand out bag of rice, cash? That's how they campaign. That's what the people are used to. So the people are saying, look, you're telling us the people they need to build a road. You're telling all the people need to build clinic, they need to do this. But all we want is job. The people said they will bring 6,000 jobs. That's what we want. The people said they will do this. That's what we want. All what you're advocating for is in the long term. It won't put food on our table. So you can also understand the people's point of view, but the senator is in the right place. The senator knows that the people deserve better, and that's what he's advocating for.
So Formula, thank you, Sunny. Formula, what do you make of the former senatorial candidate joining Senator Yan Twine to call on Asala Mita and the people of Nimba?
Look, I don't want to speak about former senatorial candidate. Our former senatorial candidate can just stand aside.
You can silence her. She also called.
I'm not going to mention or speak about former senatorial candidate. Our former senatorial candidate is compared politically as a Jezebel, and I don't want to refer to a Jezebel or political Jezebel in my comment to the current senator. Look, Yan Twine is a fine species, one of the finest sons of Nima County.
Species, okay.
And if you see a man who has a head over his shoulder, you will know. Look, our people have been kept in the dark for so long. And when you get encapsulated in this blanket of poverty, it affects every part of your body, including your brain. Why do you think a man will not get food to eat, will not be able to feed himself, but he'll be born in the children? That poverty. So you see how the poverty affect every part of his body now. So Yan Twine review the concession. He looked at the social corporate responsibility, and he raised some cardinal issues. He said, "Oh yeah, why the issue that Asla Meta, why the issue you guys are in our county, have provided jobs for some of our people, but the promises you made to them, you have not lived up to that expectation. And now your time is ending and you're asking for an extension. How will we give you an extension if the first one that we gave you and you're not committing to that?
Mm-hmm.
So, well, he lists with his fellow members that part of the caucus. They
The man
agree,
is a focus.
and and now and now he's saying that we have to revisit. We have to go back and make sure that um we implement what you guys promised our people.
So let's read this comment by Leon Lapo, right? Lynn said that the fact of the matter is that ArcelorMittal is the highest employer in Nema County. The government and the legislature that are pretending to be in the interest of the people are the very ones who sold the people out with brown envelopes and one pickup trucks each. The people are seeing right through their political manipulations. So is that what this is?
Look,
You think that's what they're seeing here, or they're
lean,
just
lean to some extent, and could be right. If the big boys, if those people, and that's the reason why I can now tell you that I'm happy that Yang Tuan is saying this today, because this is part of the responsibility, the three cardinal responsibility of a lawmaker. That oversight the scene, that many lawmakers who passing around causing noise, who they calling for press conferences on his base, while his people in a district that nursing they not have access to basic things. Eh? So when you see that kind of when
I
you
don't
see
know
that
like
kind
this. I don't know like
of yeah, but that's the kind of responsibility, oversight.
Right.
Oversight is not just for you to be running behind a concession company. Then when you go there, they take you in the office, they give you one cold surgery, and they put something in the envelope for you. Then you forget about the people case. They say,
So
"Oh, we'll do that." The
from that,
oversight is to ensure that you press on the executive, that the agreement that was signed between the government of Liberia and any concession company, the responsibility that the company owe to the people whose land or whose resources are being exploited, you ensure that you press on the executive that those agreements are brought to fruition. That is the oversight there. You're pressing on the executive to make sure that all the things that is listed in the minimal agreements, make sure that they are maximized and they are used for internal purpose, and the people really benefit from it.
so from that, so Lynn, like what point, right? Should because these things are happened before in the past. When a lawmaker or the people who are responsible to do these oversights and they have never done it before and they have been taking brown envelopes and what have you, should we if they are showing that they're trying to do the right thing now, should we always kind of like say in the past like, oh no, because of this is what you done before, so we cannot, we just take what we have now. I mean, should we get past this and try and see what they are trying to do, if they're trying to like redeem themselves and see what it goes from there, or should we keep saying that, oh, they always been doing it, so that what they will keep doing?
No, there are some good men in the House of Legislature. Why it is true that there are many corrupt ones who try to stain them with their corrupt nature. But we cannot holistically kick them out simply because that of the past record of some bad ones. So we should always be open, and we should always hail and acknowledge and encourage people who show signs of some form of difference among other people. No, there are individual differences. There are some people who are different, but because of the overall nature of the other people who have served before them, they have created this stereotype mentality for many Liberians that anytime they think of a lawmaker, they say, "Oh, yeah, I see men that only know that only doing campaign they can carry around. Oh, that the same people that they don't do nothing, they only over ourselves." You see what I'm saying? So yes, there were some bad ones, and there are some bad ones who only look after their own individual interests. There were many things that went on in our country there about brown envelopes and all those things went on, and it's still the reputation of the, and that's the reason why senators they don't continue to stress on. They say anything that happens, they say, "Yo, say, oh, Lord, me calling a criminal." Nobody going to go look at anything. They get categorized, and everybody gets everybody that they see. So sometimes it really becomes difficult now for you to distinguish the good ones from the bad ones, and for the bad ones, and the good ones, for the good ones to do something outstanding without being verified, it becomes very difficult now. So why it is true that Asila Meta is the highest employer in Nima County. Many of the sons and daughters of Nima County have benefited from this company. And is there more the company can do for our people? Yes. Has the company lived up to its agreement? No. Can the current caucus of Nima County buy on this company to fulfill its agreement with the people and the government of Liberia? Yes, because that's their responsibility. That's the reason why taxpayer money have been paid to them. So I want to in this public manner give it up for Yan, and I'm happy that he said he and his fellow colleagues agree that they will not sign the new agreement until Asila Meta can show to them that they are willing to honor the previous agreement that they signed with the government of Liberia.
Thank you. I think they should too. They should do that. So moving on, kind of still on I think the same topic almost, right? The Secretary General of the CDC, what's his name? I used to say Clogy. Jefferson Clogy writes. Jefferson Clogy is going after Senator DeLong. For what, guys? Same old thing that we talked about the other day. So the senator, then like we're talking about now, the senator standing up to the labor minister for giving out work permits while Liberians are still looking for jobs and stuff. So this is what he said to the senator: focus on real issues. Why our streets are flooded with drugs. Our young are being destroyed. You gone completely silent. The low hanging fruits like increasing Civil 7 salary, pushing for better healthcare, and tracking police brutality remains untouched under your watch. Okay. Instead, you are washing what? You are wasting precious time on political grandstanding and a vote of no confidence against the labor minister. Move that do not. What is he trying to say here? I guess he's trying to say move that don't do anything to solve the daily suffering of our Liberian people. What happened to promises you made? The health system is still in shambles. The economy, which you once called was in a toilet, is now collapsing further and become a silent conspirator in the failure. You have become a further conspirator. Maserati is grasped by fear and insecurity, yet you are seeing slashing money like it's celebrity abroad. Why parents here can't even afford school fees for their children? Deception is too much. Start leading or step aside. So, guys, this is from Jefferson Kochi, right? Saying that the senator, the streets are flooded with drugs and all of this, and the senator should focus on the main issue. Guys, when has employing Liberians not been the main issues? Isn't how do the bread and butter get on the table without these people being employed? I mean, should Jefferson Kochi be the one talking about drugs flooding the streets and people are not? I mean, talk to me, Cindy. I'm out of words here. Help me out here with this one.
So the question whether a specific person should talk about drugs on the street or trying to hold the government accountable. I get the position you're coming from because Koji was the city mayor for 6 years.
That's my
Under the George Weah presidency. But Koji is now holding a government accountable based on the past 6 years. We cannot make excuse for this government at this point. This government has been in power for going to 2 years. And anyone, any Liberian, whether we like their positions, whether they were presidents in the past, whether they failed the country in the past, whether they brought terrible things on the country, we all have the responsibility to hold our current administration accountable. So I get the political position where that question is coming from, but I think whether his intent is only political or not, because often we see that oppositions will always want to be political. But then the question that we should ask is some of the things that he's talking about, are they real? Do we have drugs issues in the country?
But Cindy, this is my point. He's saying that the senator is going after the labor minister for selling work permits. Mm-hmm. Those aren't real issues. But he want to remind the senator of drugs during his administration. And I'm not saying he's not something, but if I was doing something stealing from you, Cindy, and because I was stealing $5 from you, so somebody come and stealing $2 from me, then I would come out and be advocating for somebody stealing from you. That is my point I'm trying to make, Cindy. It's not a political something because that sounds political to me. Because if you're telling me that work, advocating for that Liberian get jobs, they get employed for the foreigners is not a real issue, then I don't think your advocate is not real.
No, I get your point. That's where we need to. So we take the position now to educate Koji, but we do not dismiss his position of advocating for drugs to be addressed as well. So we take the opportunity and say, yes, Koji, we can actually chew gum and walk at the same time. We can talk about, the senator can still address the issue of work permits being issued to foreigners. And while we welcome your positions on the issue of drugs affecting our people in the country, but to dismiss his position of drugs, to me, then it's not fair to the Liberian people. But I get your concern. We can't dismiss the fact that we have foreigners working in positions that Liberians should be working in. We cannot dismiss the fact that foreigners will bring businesses into the country and Liberians are being sidelined. We can't dismiss that fact. So for the senator to address that fact, then that's good. We want the senator to address that. We want Liberians to be employed. I just don't want it to be theoretical, though. The senator should actually, instead of just talking about it, should take actions to address that. So that companies like ArcelorMittal, Western Clusters, the Lebanese stores and other businesses can actually employ Liberians in key positions. Liberians should not just be the loaders of the cars. When you go buy something from the store, you wouldn't see Liberians loading the cars.
Yeah.
Liberians sweeping the stores. Those shouldn't be the jobs. So I applaud the senator for advocating for Liberians to have jobs, decent jobs. But then I also understand that I also applaud Koji for saying, let's address the issue of drugs as well. What Koji should not do, however, is to dismiss one and saying, don't go after this permit thing now, focus on the drugs. We can chew gum and walk at the same time.
You don't think that the senator is addressing the drugs issue in here? I mean, I know it's a holistic fight. It should be a whole government something, but by himself having a having his supporters to help with rehabilitation centers, and he graduating people out of there in from rehab back and forth. You think Co- what a bunny Koji has the right or is right or he's not being political when he's telling him that drugs are industry and he's not doing anything about it. He should focus on the real issue instead of
Let me tell
having
you something.
the on drugs.
How I operate, Emmy. I'll see you kill somebody in front of me until we can investigate you. I won't find you guilty. That's how the justice system works in the U.S. You can kill somebody right here in front of me until you can be investigated and found guilty. You are innocent. What do I mean? I cannot accuse Koji of being political. It may be clear that he's being political. What I want to pick up is the message. While the message is political, I want to get the context. I want to pick up some of the contents in the message. If I find any good thing in that message, whether it's heavily political, I will root out the good part and talk about it. And here is the good part. I want to assume that Koji is not just attacking the law as an individual. Maybe he is, but I want to assume that he's not doing that.
That's what he's doing.
Well, that's your position. Until Koji can come and tell me, says, my position is attacking the law. What I want to believe is he's attacking the law.
That's what he's doing. I'm not saying it's my position. From what I read here,
he's attacking the law. He's attacking the law position as a senator and saying, look, you as a senator can do better to fight the issue of drugs in the country. So the law is doing his part as an individual. He have that rehab, I call it detox center. I don't call those places rehab. Rehabilitation go beyond just detoxing people.
Yeah.
You have that detox center, so we can commend him for that. But we can go beyond that. So again, it's not just Koji that is advocating for this. I'm also asking the government, we need to do something. We need to accelerate the fight on drugs. We declare drugs as the primary issues affecting our young people in the country. We campaign that George Weah, in fact, not only was he not fighting drugs, he was bringing drugs into the country. We campaigned that. We said that. President Bouaka said that. We said that. President Bouaka said it's going to be my number one fight. Has it been the Unity Party government number one fight? No. It's our legislators. Our legislators, are they doing anything better to fight this issue of drugs? No. So all of us, including Koji, the George Weah, any Liberian, should stand up and demand that our government take a strong stance to fight drugs in the country. So I'm not going to fight Koji for flagging something that should be flagged, whether he was a city mayor or not.
So the question here was not for you to fight Koji, was for you to go to Koji a statement calling on the senator, attacking the senator, and this attack came after the senator went after the labor minister. And this is not just Koji alone. A lot of people went after Senator Dillon about this, about the labor, about what he said about the labor minister giving out, work permits while Liberians are there. These companies are saying they're giving out 3,000 jobs, and then work permits are being sold, and people in those areas not having jobs. So this it wasn't just Koji, but the big dogs always have to come after all the other Chihuahua that speaks, right? So this is what he said after that. So Koji did not just get up and say, "Wait a minute, I'm concerned about drugs. This is going out of hand." So what is the government doing? Our people no. This came after he's attacking the senator on this issue. And in doing that, he bringing out so the credit you're giving him so much, Cindy, which I don't want to give him. He did not just come up with an issue of drugs, something, and the senators are not doing anything about it. He's attacking this number one. one person, senator, for because he went after the labor minister. So that's why I was asking. It was not anything political or trying to silence him. Koji had come up and said this on his own without attacking Dillon for going after labor minister. I would have given him some, well, not credit, but I would have said, okay, he's concerned about it now. That let's talk about it. So that's where I come from when I'm saying what I'm saying, not because he's Koji or because trying to dismiss him, Cindy.
Yeah, I mean, again, I see your point. I'm not trying to dismiss your point. I see some political tone in Koji's, statement and his position. But like I said, I'm picking the good from that statement. I'm picking some of the good contents from that from his position, and then I will leave what is presumed to be political. I will leave it alone and just focus on the good. And I think all of us should hold our government accountable and ask our government to do better by the Liberian people.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not here to praise St. Delon because he have a detox center. Thank that he have a detox center. I mean, Delon should pressure the central government, the executive branch, to have rehabilitation centers. He should pressure them. But we don't see that. The government said they just bought a land somewhere and they're about to do a rehab center. We need this whole thing to be accelerated. So I see the politics. I see the politics from Kochi's statement. Trust me. But I'm picking the good oranges among the bad ones. That's what I'm doing.
Famila?
Well. Every day we have something interesting. The issue of drugs, we cannot overemphasize that because we've talked about that for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And there's not a single household in Liberia that is not hit with this pandemic. Mm-hmm. And all we can wish for, because this issue of drugs is global now. Because even on the streets here in the United States, it's terrible. With all of the sophistication we have, the proliferation of drugs here is alarming. So for a little country like Liberia, who can hardly feed herself, and we have officials of government making more money than other people, that the money should be used mainly for, is sad. But it would take a president that really has the political will to go back and revisit and tailor our budget that will meet the existing reality of our people. There are a lot of waste in the government. It's not this government that set the tune. Previous government did not set the tune. But post-war Liberia, the very ambitious plan. When we say this is a hard truth. Mm-hmm. And for us, we can say it to our Union Parisian. Manasseh Lee had her imported state bureaucrats that she brought. And because Manasseh Lee was dining and whining with the West, with the portfolio that she had as the first female president on the continent, billions and billions of dollars were flowing in the country. And the best thing Manasseh Lee was able to do is to craft a budget that tripled all her predecessor's budget. It was under the watchful eyes of Manasseh Lee that lawmakers were given huge benefits and salaries. It has never happened in our country history. But Manasseh Lee did that on purpose. And that's the reason why during her administration, it was marked by rampant corruption, During her administration, there were 66 plus book of concession agreement was signed, and none of them met international.
Under the watch of President Walker, then president of the Senate.
Um, my man, they said the head of the house, the blame will go to the head. So if you want to call the vice president was just waiting over there to break tie, but they were never attacked. So the vice president was just sitting there. He has nothing to do with that. So we already know the role of the vice president. The vice president can advise the president. She can take it if she wants to.
He was a park car,
Yeah, he was there just as a liaison. He report to the president, say that hey, the people agree today. So that's it. You're playing a part. And knowing the kind of a person that Manasseh Salihu is not a person that listens to people like that. She doesn't take advice like that from anybody. And that's the reason Manasseh Salihu had her special advisor she had. And Manasseh Salihu was paying her chief lobbyists. Manasseh Salihu was paying a lot of money. So she was able to get most of these country boys then who came for the first time in their life to hold 14,000. You know what I mean? To get you up to 14,000 as a, you know what I mean? So anything they say inside there, they will get a yes sir, yes sir. So it was through her administration that Brian Envelope Benet even came up. So Senator DeLong now has been caught in a situation where he's trying to play the good guy role in the movie, and people still not seeing him, and people now still seeing him to be that rightful character to play that role, because he himself has had his own fault. And he will say one thing today, tomorrow the next thing he apologized to the Liberian people. He said, I made my machine. And all kind of things.
Is it wrong to apologize?
No, it's not wrong. That's the reason why the Liberian people saying
so why that Senator, people take that to be
I know. It's good to apologize and be honest and apologize. But the Liberian people say, oh, but let's see Mayor again. When you apologize to forgiving the next day, we go see the man spraying money. And you know that Koji, the sedition will always look for every. You go look at the money that Senator Dillon was spraying, said, I was dollar.
I was about to ask that. Was it?
It was something.
It's the image. It doesn't matter how much you was spraying.
It's only common in the American setting here when we go for gathering like that, we spray money. And that money then he carry 300. I said dollar 300. I pay the money. You go share it. You go spray that money by that Odogu. So now that common act that Senator Dillon carry on now, it has become his nemesis. So you find somebody who have bad moral character now looking at the other men now and telling you, say, oh my man, are you the one who's supposed to be talking about drugs in the country here? When the person who now talking to Senator Dillon about proliferation of drugs on the market is notorious for giving talks those substances to go cause mayhem. Why you think the police went the last time to evade the CDC party headquarters? Because they were selling some of those substances on their party ground. There's no secret. So let's just forget about that quote unquote.
So he calls the senator talking about the work permit. Going after the minister of labor, he called it non-important issues. I mean, does Koji know what he's talking about? When we're talking about employment, and when they were just talking about having a rally, like the government should create jobs, job creation, is it to Koji's knowledge that everybody should work in the government, or is to hold these companies accountable to make these jobs available for our people and for our labor law to work for the people to have jobs? I mean, does he know what he's talking about, or he just want to play politics?
That's the reason why Socrates said never accept moral instruction from somebody who has not proven their wisdom. Should I listen to a Koji to give me moral instruction when Koji himself has never proven in his entire life what it means to do something right? It's not. So Senator Dillon Umba, he will always be caught under the crossfire, because one, he presents himself as different thing to the Liberian people, and then In the other end, he allowed his human nature to take control of him. He shot himself in his leg, and then he come back and apologize. You'll be right here today, Senator Dillon will say one thing. The next day, you go on outside and say another thing. Right, recent time, Senator Dillon came before the media. I know that because of the camera, he said the ruling from the Supreme Court is what we're going to follow. As soon as you see the camera, he said, go. Then he did not wrong again. We go see him again. He coming on our side. He said the Supreme Court say they should go back and do the right thing. But Funati is the speaker. So the Liberian people, like, they have seen Senator Dillon talking to from two sides of the mouth.
So how was that considered talking two sides of your mouth when he said as the Supreme Court has ruled and we're gonna follow it, and then he said that
you know the reason why he said it?
Profile is the speaker. What was different?
Why you think Senator Dillon ran to the media quick to come outside? He was so quick. Senator Dillon is noted for always showing, that he's the czar of the legal, and he understands the legality surrounding, the House of Legislature, and he always have expert opinion when it comes to legal issue or legal interpretation. So he rushed quickly to the media, and who you are pleasing? You are pleasing McGill, because McGill was sitting next to him. So when they made McGill be shaking his head, say, yeah, and my man Dillon saying the right thing. So he said, oh yeah. And so, I mean, for me, I don't have problem with that, but all these kind of things are the things that people can always see and track you on and say, oh, my man, you're not consistent. But Koji had no right to tell Senator Dillon anything about labor law. How many companies do we have in Liberia? How many jobs were created under Koji? Apart from taking people, sending them to various areas, and they were not even working. They were just sending all around the place. So, I mean, Senator Dillon right to pressure the labor minister, but again, I have my own opinion on that particular one, and that is my own opinion. It's not the opinion of this platform. Senator Dillon pressing the labor minister about job for Liberian. You have two sides. Many of the Liberians the labor ministry know they can raise money if they give out more work permit, because it's another strategy to bring in money. They can raise more money, and many of those people who work on work permit, they are subject to paying more taxes to the Liberian government because they are foreigners, and the government can raise more funds from them. And it still does not negate the fact that Liberians should be given opportunity to work in their country, because this is a country of equal citizenship.
So what are you saying? I'm confused.
So I'm saying now that the labor ministry has the constitutional responsibility to ensure that Liberians get that just pay from work they do. But on it other function, it also has the responsibility to give out work permit to foreigners who meet the requirement, because giving out work permit, the government raise money from that.
Thank you, Formula. Beta, have you been fighting with that? I don't know if I agree with Formula. I think
Formula just added a Dillon. He just showed
Dillon, that was a mischaracterization of Dillon anyway. So Dillon always talk. Dillon is a human. He's not a saint. And I don't see anywhere that Dillon has said something concerning.
It's not it's not a mischaracterization of Dillon.
It is.
You're coming back.
It is a mischaracterization.
When it comes to Dillon, there's nothing wrong for you.
So why are you attacking me? You had your own. You said it. I say my own. Then you won't attack me. No, I'm saying that is a mischaracterization of Dillon, because Liberian people are not used to the people who will do something wrong and then come back and say, oh, I apologize. They take it to be the wrong thing. They expect politicians to come to them and lie to them, and then when they get caught into something, and then they say, oh, the person questioned me, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, and it's something. No, Dillon is not a saint. Dillon never done anything so horrible to the Liberian people that no senators in there had done and had owned up to it. If y'all call this up, Dillon lie, Dillon do that, Dillon do that. Dillon talk about his own plane ticket that it wasn't the government sending him on any trip that he used government money. That was his money. If I don't want to, he's not supposed to do that. But he said he felt that it was kind of insensitive during that time to talk about his ticket. Is that what we're talking about? Say I made my mother shame according to his family. So
but that's what he said. That's not me. He said it.
Yeah, you told me to my mom. I don't see anything that was so grave in that made Dylan like, oh, if he's standing up for the Liberian poor, then he's standing for two sides. Or for Dylan to say the Supreme Court has spoken and we're gonna go about it, and that's exactly what he did. He said Fonati is still the speaker. That's what the Supreme Court said. So I don't see anything that he said that was on the other side of his lips and then it came out on the other side of his mouth. No, he said exactly that. And that's what the Supreme Court said. So moving on. Bida, have you been listening to the conversation?
Yeah, I think a few minutes ago I was listening, but can you recap? Where are we?
Okay, right now we are we on the part as Jefferson Kochi calling out and the Dylan for going after the labor minister for their work permit thing. Remember we talked about it last week. About setting the work permits and not giving the Liberian people's job. You know, a lot of people has been heating Dylan up for that. You know, everybody got their own, can support their own criminal, like we said in Liberia, right? Whether it benefits the people or not, as long as suiting that person pocket or that person, they will come after whoever's trying to make things better. So yeah, people has been coming up, but then Jefferson Kochi has the nerve to come out and say that what Senator Dylan is fighting for, which is a job for Liberians to be employed in something, is not an important issue that Senator Dylan should be focusing on. What he should be focusing on is drugs in the street and what else did he say? I missed my notes. Yeah, those kind of things is what the economy and drugs in the street. Those are the things that Senator Dylan should be fighting for and not fighting for Liberians to have jobs. What do you think about that? You think that Jefferson Kochi should be the one telling Senator Dylan about drugs today when he was in the drugs? His what is his name? Administration was being the one 100 million drugs while people were getting set free under this. Some drugs were coming in left and right, and Jefferson Kochi never knew that our people were suffering from drugs at the time because he going after the senator now for I don't know what relationship he have with this labor minister. So now he concerned about drugs. You think he's sincere about this, or he's just trying to go after the senator because he was so vocal during the 6 years that they were in power? What do you think about that?
Well, I think Cody. Let me begin by saying good evening, Sandy, to my brother family, and to everyone watching or by whatever being you following the conversation. I think Cody is a politician, and you want to look at his statement from a more political perspective and what he stands to benefit in their usual political gain. But somebody, you want to question the morality that's come with a statement of the sincerity and honesty. And fast forward, you don't want to drain to not acknowledging the fact that Liberian, on a statistic basis, Liberian are affected by the issue of drugs. And we have our government that was squarely supported with our all, doing nothing to improve that sectors or that sickness that are affected our country.
A disease.
You know, right? We have a lot of challenges in our country. But like I said in one of our conversations, I think that was on the Spoon late night show, I said your effort towards certain things or certain platform, that speaks volume to international supporter or international donor taking you serious. Now I want to address the issue about the judge. Let's look at how much million that has been allocated to the DEA to first judge, journeying from A.B. Chromatin up to now. Where are we as a country when it comes to talk about job? I mean, on a daily basis,
I better hear about it.
On a daily basis, you hear that there maybe you're not following other platforms. But
No, I
they
mean like for the government taking it seriously, I better hear them talking about
okay.
drugs.
I mean, yeah, I mean, and that's the challenge. You cannot say, like we heard the president the last time when he talked about when the president took the test, and there was some minister to following. I mean, that was a very good footprint. But the broad perspective, those that are affected, now there was a good program the government talk about through the LDA. They talk about rehabilitation. They talk about, giving people career, all the business things. This is what I said the last time. We have had a lot of policies in our country, laws, but implementation has been our problem. And people are not drastic to certain sectors. Like once upon a time, I think, but sending here talk about president having an agenda. If you are a president, you came to power, or they gave you an authority to fight to come to power. There are certain sectors you want to tackle. Okay, I look at road and I look at food insecurity. You tackle that, you get done with it. Another person come and look at certain sectors. But in Liberia, we have the kind of a budget that it's not sufficient to handle everything at a certain point in time.
Right.
Having acknowledged all these things, but there are certain things, allotment you carry on in certain sectors, in certain ministry, that speaks volume to your seriousness to work in that sectors. Now we talked about agriculture the last time. Today we're just talking about drugs, right? There is no improvement, and for me, I'm highly disappointed because there's one thing that we took to our people. We talk about it during election time. Kush, we show pictures all around the place here.
Yeah.
That people are dying from this thing, right? There are many ways we can fight this thing. We don't have to do everything in government. There are civil society. For me, I have before I came into politics, I had the opportunity to work with most of these civil society organizations. You talk about civil society organizations that are in fighting jobs. You talk about people that tackle the climate change. I mean, there are a lot of organizations we spread out saying because we want to see our impact in Liberia. Civil society organizations struggle on a daily basis to get them involved. And there is no involvement of civil society when it comes to fighting certain diseases in our country. At the end of the day, you won't put everything on government. It's not possible because at the end of the day, the very LDA people we have in uniform taking the jobs, I mean, doing all sorts of things with it. Because the budget is not that infected that shows that they're having the kind of money that had to be paid with. Because obviously, a hungry man is an angry man. Or a hungry man is a confused man. He does anything as any times he wishes to do. Now, I don't want to get Koji's statement any morality or sincerity because I know it's pure political. But the fact of the matter is there's an issue in Liberia when it comes to jobs.
Yeah.
And we're not seeing any improvement. I don't know what the 2025 budget because now look at the 2025 budget to see what is there for the LDA. If there's an improvement, then I mean, they have to do more on their sectors because we cannot keep talking about this and there's no action towards it. So you talk about the labor laws or some of the things the senator talk about. Unique thing the senator talk about. And the senator's statement for me, Senator DeLong is not perfect, right? But he's one of those you want to depend on at a certain point in time. Yeah, you might have your disagreement as to how he come on, you want to show himself. And that's the trend. Politicians want to be in the news, which sometimes I don't see it from a sincere and honest background. But I think your advocacy should be more genuine. But when I saw his statement, his deliberation on the issues about what the labor minister says, I saw some level of honesty in it, right? And I think we should start to push, like I said the last time, we should try to push our senators, our representatives, those that we gave power to actually come up because they cannot do anything above what they are doing. At the end of the day, they want to say, vote on no confidence and recommend to the president to reprimand the individual, right? That's their process. They cannot do anything above. But let's keep pushing it. If you have 5, 6 senators standing on plenary, being sincere, keep pushing the issue about our people being murdered, then I mean, there are a lot of things that will happen. There are other factors when it comes to labor law being implemented, how people are not treating work. And, I mean, there's a lot of conversation around that. But on the average, people in Liberia has not been, people, sometimes it's that frustrating. You go to work 2-3 months, you're not being paid. Then at the end of the day, somebody want you to be that clean or they want you to be very fair in that job. corruption will take place. If people are not getting what they are told, get, corruption will take place. So Koji usually on the trend of gaining political ground. But the fact of the matter is there's an issue in Labron when it comes to these things that he talked about. I don't want to look at the morality and honesty of the statement, but I want to look at what we are going through as a country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Like you rather said, we need to hold our senators or lawmakers and to push them. I mean, if we come in here and downplaying what a lawmaker is saying for his advocacy and stuff, and holding him for things that in from the past, and we say, oh, he's not sincere because this and that. I mean, I'm not saying we should pacify them or anything. That's their job, but would this give them any kind of encouragement or any kind of, should I say, morale to continue to do what they need to do? Sorry, if you wanna. Oh, Cindy.
Sorry, I don't know, you muted. Sorry, we can hear you.
You getting me?
We're getting you now.
Mm-hmm. One of the guests just
I've been muted. I kept muting myself. So, yeah, you were asking a question. You said
okay, so from what we were just
statement
talking
should
about
what?
here.
Can you recap? Can you restate?
Okay, so from what we were just talking about here, and Senator Dillon is being dragged for being by my brother family talking too side his mouth or apologizing too much. So I see this as not just Senator Dillon. Like we were just talking about it earlier with Senator Yan Twine and all of that. Should we continue to do these things when you have people who are fighting to do the right thing, and we continue to hold them by what had happened in the house before, or what we think will happen, or what we think these people? Do you think it will give them any kind of encouragement, or not to say we should pacify them or anything, because that's their job? I'm not saying we should, but the society that we come from, right? If anybody, oh man, why you keep doing this? They're not taking you serious anyways. Everybody think you are like us and all of that. You think that would make other people to want to join to the fight and do this thing, and not just be reluctant on it? Should we continue to do this thing and not applaud people when they come out to start to do the right things?
It is the right of the senator to speak on this issue consistently. And it is the right of we as political commentator, to scrutinize some of the things they say or they have said over the past period of time. If Bilal Suare feels that what Senator Dillon is saying should add up and go beyond the usual saying, I think that's right too for the senator. Most of the conversation is not just about maybe just scrutinizing them or wanting to discourage them, but it is about mostly telling them what you should do, come forward. I know they know, but most of the conversation amplify or give the energy in another light, to do some of the things that they're doing. Yeah. Okay. If Senator Dillon said what he said, and we come out on this platform to say, oh, we want for Senator Dillon to do this, we want for this to happen, and I mean, that's the right of Liberian. So I don't want us to dwell the conversation on somebody questioning how Senator Dillon speak and what the thing. We just have to keep talking these things and put forth some of the idea we think that they should do as our senator, because that is what they've been paid for. They should not be discouraged. Or I know the society is gullible, and sometimes when you speak on issue, you got backlash. No. I mean, keep your focus. That is what we're paying you for. Because being a senator or being a representative, that everything you're wearing. That one of Senator, I don't call it. Senator Snow said, this job we're in, it comes with my cost. No, the vice president, sorry, it comes with my cost. It comes with everything. So I mean, I'm being paid for something because that's the party. I mean, so Senator Dillon or whosoever that is involved into backlash or criticism should take it in good faith and do the people work. Take some in good faith. Everyone, some are not necessary. Let's be clear on that. Some are not necessary, but it is what it is. Everyone has their right to speak on some of the issues.
Okay, so let's get into our closing. Cindy, I sent you something because I can't really see it. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
for us, and we can just touch on that and do our closing from there.
Okay. June 16, which is today, there's a press release. Maigibi County, Liberia. The management of the Liberia Airport Authority, through its managing director, Honorable Daryl H. Manscole, extends sincere appreciation to His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, for his kind approval and support in facilitating the recent visit of the Turkish technical team at the Rabat International Airport. The President's visionary leadership and commitment to enhancing our nation's aviation infrastructure had made it possible for the Rabat International Airport, the flagship airport managed by the Liberia Airport Authority, to be accessed through Global Eyes, a move which we believe will generate some great dividends for our country and help in realizing the President's dream of making the Rabat International Airport an air bridge to the rest of the world. The 6-man delegation, which comprised of experts in airport development, visited the Rabat International Airport on Thursday, June 12, to evaluate the potential for needed upgrades. Key areas access include the airport terminus, the runway, the apron, which is the ramp, rescue and firefighting department, air traffic control tower, electrical powerhouse, security systems, monitoring and luggage systems, amongst other facilities. We are hopeful that the insights gained from this assessment will undoubtedly play a vital role in guiding future improvements to our nation's airport's effectiveness, efficiency, and safety, while being fully compliant with international aviation standards and recommended practices. The LAA management remains committed to ensuring that our operations reflect the high values befitting our great nation in full support of the government's agenda for inclusive development. In recent developments, management also commends His Excellency President Boakai through the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs, Cabinet Office, for the confidence reposed in the airport's hardworking team. After being recognized as one of the high-performing government institutions in Liberia for successfully meeting up with the 2024 service delivery targets. We see this recognition as an accomplishment for all workers and partners of the Liberia Airport Authority as we strive to collectively achieve our performance targets in 2025 under the performance management and compliance system in serving the Liberian people. Signed, the Management Liberia Airport Authority.
Thank you, Sandy, for having good eyes. But Sandy, from this thing here, the last time the plane, I don't know, a tire got something on the wrong way. They say it wasn't any, anything that had to do with the airport. It was from the plane and all of that. And now we're seeing this, that these people came in and, what do you think is going on here? Were we being told the truth about the airport, about things that happened there or the plane? I mean, what is your thought on this?
Look, this communication is just press syncing. That's what it is. These people are basically seeking attention from the president. They are press syncing President Boakai. That's what it is. President Boakai, they're saying, so they have a group of folks from Turkey that came to assess the airport. They assess some of the areas like the terminals and blah 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 blah. With nothing yet to be done, no promises, nothing has been identified, no project identified and said, based on our assessment, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. No commitment being made. The people already brought it to the public. See,
You think they are scared here for somebody get suspended from what happened last time?
They are just singing the president. They want attention from the president. For me, these things should be kept secret until something happened. Mm-hmm. The Turkish folks came to country. They access the airport. Keep it secret until it manifests into something. Until we see them come back to say, okay, based on our assessment, we are committing to doing this, this, and this for the Liberia Roberts International Airport. And even at that, wait until that is also completed. If they have completed a project, then you come out to the Liberian people and say, look, back in June of 2025, a group of Turkish experts came into the country, they did an assessment, and based on the assessment, they carry on this project at the airport. And that's why when you come to the airport now, you're seeing this new infrastructure. You come to the airport, you're seeing this is, but without any commitment, you're already persecuting these people. What if they don't even, because they haven't made a commitment, what if they don't do anything for the airport? You just made yourself shame. For his visionary days, and it's just attention from the president. The communication is well written, by the way. It's professional. It's well written. But all I see there is a group of administrators at the airport that are trying to shower the president with praises to be favored by the president, and jumping ahead of themselves with no commitment being made from the foreign partners. They already sharing it with the Liberian people. But I hope that with the Turkish folks coming to country, I hope that they will identify some issues and that they will also commit to facing those issues. But again, this should have been kept secret until we can see something from the Turkish team.
Thank you, Zeni. From that, you think from what happened the last time, the president is concerned about the airports? Is that's why he had these people coming in and what's your point? What's your thought on this? In this communication, you think is that, like Cindy said, is that with it, or you think this is like a prayer singing too?
Look, that's what I always say. Well, what's the president I say? I always say, shut your mouth and do the damn job. Mm-hmm. Liberians, we are good at talking too much. We talk, and the work that we do is lesser than the talking that we do. Let your work speak for itself. That's exactly what the president continues to emphasize. That's the reason why President Baka is they say when Omer goes to some other thing, get in and get look at it. Because he wants you to work, and then let the work speak for itself. Because if the work is speaking for itself, you know where President Baka will know from? You'll know from the people, the Liberian people. Because the presidents always listen. The ears of the president is always on the people. It's not on his cabinet. Because that's the reason why you see this contract you're talking about. Someone have to preach you on and say, no, let me show this guy then. Let's put the guys on a setting pressure now so that they can deliver. You sign a contract now with the government and you tell us what you're doing, just how Elon Musk did to the guys then. Tell us what you did in the last 2 weeks. We send your email and tell us what you did in the last 2 weeks. Because some people said whom they don't even go to work. They're collecting free check. So the government is now saying, you are our definite minister, you are our minister. Every now and then you're taking your salary, you're taking your benefit, but tell us exactly what you've done. So it gives everybody it put everybody in a position where now everybody got to go think out of the box, be innovative. This is what the president wants. The president does not want, he's a pragmatic man. He wants you to do things that the Liberian people will see and say, oh yes. That's all I see. That thing they're doing over there, that's just mere filibustering for nothing show up and the ostentatious. I can use all the other adjectives to describe that, but the president is not too much involved with that. You can write your well-articulated speech and everything, duck already, flower it and do everything you want to do. The most important thing is to have the particular job done. When it is working and everybody seeing that it's working, the Liberian people will say it. The president said I need to go anywhere. So the meeting now, Liberian need to do, shut up and do the damn job.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Usually I don't want to sound like Mr. Kumi because he got 1%, but it's good to sound like him because it's a sound man too. He said we cannot keep doing the same thing and expect different results. And when you see in government, people trends on the same path. People latch at other people that were in government back then by saying some of the things that you're doing was wrong, blah, blah, blah. Now, let me address the issue about our international, let's say our only international airport that we have. If you had an opportunity, there is just a rotational thing, right? If you had an opportunity to visit that airport, you will want to condemn it as international airport because it's not standardized. And I don't want to restrict that blame on this administration. It is something that says it is rotational. So for someone to value your service, there are many things we can do. The communication, the rare, it might be good, but it seems like sending procedure. It seems like you want to show up sending something. Come on. If it is about Liberia gaining certain progress, let's see action, brothers. There are a lot of things on the airport that we need to get done. And they will not say they can't generate revenue. They're not getting that budgetary support to actually operate the airport. They will not tell you and say that you never see any of them complain on that. But you were hearing saying airplane came in like, bro, it did a run 10 because there was no light, and it ran somewhere because the planes were bushy, and I mean you hear all sort of things. That's encourage people who want to come. There are more airlines maybe want to do business with you. When you get this kind of news, it's very discouraging. You and myself were here the last time when we heard that some people said about ratting jet. Some people said everybody was having their own blame that they played the wrong way or that okay, where the plane landed, there's a quota, and everybody has their own saying. So up to now, they clarified about what happened. Well, what was the issue? The president went to where he went before they got to get an emergency for him. We don't have any clear fact about that or clear information on that. So at the end of the day, our officials that we trusted through our president, we just have to keep the job going. Look, like Family said, if Liberia is better today, you will not come and say, you will not bring all of the beautiful, beautiful wording and put together and put in communication. The Liberian people will speak for you. We got today the water and sewer, people speaking for the water and sewer, even people in opposition. I can attest to that. People that I have spoken to in the past and even currently, they always say Mo Ali is doing well. Nobody will come and speak for you. No, you will not come and speak for yourself. I mean, people will always be on the platform saying that you're doing well. So I mean, let the work get done. That get it moving. Everything will not be done. I mean, the Liberian people speaks for you. So I think people need to stop talking too much and do the job of the Liberian people.
Thank you. Can you just tell me where you're closing? If that is it, then we can just move on.
Yeah, I think it was a good conversation. Always a pleasure to be here to discuss Mama Liberia. There's a lot we need to do. We said what we said during campaign. And for me, moving forward, I don't see anything like discussing anything that is not in the interest of the Liberian people. Basically, I could touch on it, but I think our government need to do well. We need to be more of watching the government on some of the things to improve them. They are doing well in some sectors, which we should acknowledge. If they does the good things, we're gonna come here, we acknowledge it, we say to the Liberian people, these are things that are happening, but we should also look at business issues that will effectuate the lives of Liberians. Not today, not for the government, but always in the future. There are good things the government doing when it comes to roads. There are good things they're doing, and in their own weak way, when it comes to, like I was talking about the water sewer, more alley. There are different sectors they're trying to tackle, but the economic relief our people need, it is, you want to look at basis process of things, and we always talk about monetary arm of government. It's very weak. You got one inspector who carry on inspector, like some ministry or some entity that will carry on inspector in a month more than 4 to 5 times, but you're not seeing no clear report as to what are the progress they're making. So at the end of the day, like Brempo will complain because you got more people inspecting there, no result coming, no good inspection going on. You just go to one fly master and give you what you're supposed to get, you get from that. Then like Brempo are dying from those terrible food that come in our country. So whosoever has, whatsoever entity or ministry that has the authority to monitor some of these things, you have to wear your boots and be honest with the job. There's just a little pieces of job they give you. It is the time to serve, give what you have to give to your country. So I think it was a good conversation. Let's keep during these conversations to always enlighten the minds of the Liberian and always put fire on our government back to do the necessary thing. Thank you, Amy, for having me. And always a pleasure to be here with you too, family and out of Sandy.
Hey there, Joe.
Well, I want to end tonight by thanking the government for prioritizing, or at least not necessarily prioritizing, but for making immense effort on the road going to Grangida, and I believe other parts of Liberia. We are in the middle of June, and usually around this time we see that the road going to Grangida is usually deplorable at this time. And in the past, a road that should take less than 6 hours, people would usually take about, sometime a week on that road, with cars stuck in the mud. I mailed something from the US here last week. I got to Liberia, and my sister got on the road this morning. She was in Monrovia in no time to pick it up. She gave it left radio and called me. Oh, I'm in Monrovia now. I said, the road not bad. She said, oh no, our road I found now, machine on the road.
No guy got stuck in the mud.
Yeah, no, she said, oh, our road I found now, machine on the road. And she said, the quota say in Tabeta now, speaking in the Labrador way.
Totally.
No, the quota in Tapeta. So it's not in Grangida yet, but it's in Nima. It's in a city called Tapeta now.
Yeah.
Which is very close actually to, the part of Grangida I'm from. So that means the government is making progress in that area. And it's exciting because that corridor is very major. We have a lot of stuff, people living on that side. So I thank the government. And, to see the vice president in China negotiating again, maybe the 4th time for this same yellow machine. Now the yellow machine will change color to red machine. That's the only way they will come to Liberia. But whatever color they come to Liberia with, yellow, red, how long it take them to negotiate, whether that's the 5th time, the 6th time, all we want, I beg you, man, Lee, I beg you, man. Imagine, I was there last year in May, and the road, to be honest, the road was not bad. It wasn't as bad. It has not been as bad as it has been in the past. Let's recognize that. It was in this rainy season, and in the midst of heavy rain, you will see some issues. But for the fact that they have machines on the road to help the people, let's give the government some credit there. I'm not usually a praising God of this government, but when they're doing something good, I want to recognize that. And again, being someone who has traveled on that road consistently, I know that around this time, cars shouldn't be moving. But for somebody to pick up from Zredru the same day and got to Morovia the same day, and even from their own mouth, her mouth, she's not nothing political. She knows nothing about your politics. All they can do is go and vote. So she's not influenced by any politician to tell me that the road is good. I trust people like that. So we hope that Jeremiah Kuhn and his team will fight hard in China while they are there to bring some yellow machines back to Liberia. Red machines, blue machines, we need machines to continue building that road. I'm hoping that before the middle of next year, my people too will start experiencing quotas, we call it in Liberia.
Quota.
The people will start experiencing quota, the people of Dwogi Town, Toll Town, going all the way to Zredru. Then I can easily transport my palm oil from Grand Gita to Morovia and make more money, with a good road condition. So that's what I want to say. Thank you for having us. It was a great show. For Lane Labo and the rest of you watching tonight, Francis, all of you, continue to support us. Thank you for being here. Wilson Johnson, all of you. Francis Harris, thank all of you for supporting this show. Let's continue to grow it and let's continue to talk Liberia. Thank you.
Family.
Yeah. Prince Henry says the best guess is that person who know when to leave. We have a very good show, and every long road must come to an end. I want to use this time to say thanks to our listening audience, Lynn Lakpo. Thank you for always making your own contribution in the comment section. And it actually helps the show. And the rest of the other people, I want to say thank you also for staying till the end. 2 hours is not an easy thing. Some people could have taken that time to sleep, take a little nap, and get ready and go back on the hustle, but you took that time to stay with us. We appreciate you for that. And for those of you who are going to come across this show later on while you're scrolling on your FYP, we want to encourage you to please share our show, invite somebody. That's how we do it. And this is they say sharing is caring.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to give us money, but if you share to somebody, it might not interest you, but somebody somewhere can find something inside and they can say, look, I'm gonna stay up and contribute to that show another day. So thank you, Amen, for the platform. Let's keep doing this. And for us, we always see this as a civil responsibility or civil duty to always come and contribute our own form of quota to our country. We are far away from the motherland, but every day we have our ears back home because there where our naval screen were buried, and so there is no work like home. If Liberia gets better, and then that means our efforts in the diaspora is not in vain, because this is some of our contribution. And so we want to thank you for taking the time every evening to come up and allow us to share the platform with you. We sincerely appreciate that. And quickly, let me just sum up everything. I want to also give a very big thumbs up to the ever potent, never relenting, and Vice President, a very humble man. He's giving me a Turbo vibes. He's behaving that William Richard Turbo.
Stop going ahead of yourself.
And no, he gave me that vibes. I mean, honestly, that's how he behaves. The last time he was on his farm, it was almost like how Turbo was on his farm. And when the news reached that, Turbo was always on his farm. He was educated, but he loved his farm. And the last time we saw President Boakai stopping by the vice president farm and to see the enormous work he's doing, he was impressed. So everywhere the president goes, everywhere the vice president been, he always say, "I bring you greetings from the president." He's a humble man, and I can tell that Jeremiah, a prophet, your days shall be long in the land that your fathers have prepared for you. Your days will be long. So just keep doing what you're doing. You are in China now, taking on the tax that was given you by the president. The president said, you know what, since there's too many Huru Baru from the Ministry of State, from Mamaka Bedete and her crew, let me take this one and give it to the vice president. And when the vice president got involved, we quickly saw results. The money came from around 80 million, it came down to 20 million. We already saw that. So that is something that I'll give it up to the vice president. And today he's in China again. You know, people were making noise because we know that how it went around. The House of Legislature was raising concern. Fonati then raised a concern. Say, oh, we don't know about the other machine you're running around. And today it brought our noise up. So the president, in his own wisdom, had to quickly step in and use his experience and say, you know what, we did not go through anything. It was a gentleman agreement. And this is what we're going to do. We go back to status quo. He involved everybody, called the vice president and said, this is your responsibility. Go and make sure we come to a conclusive end of this. And the vice president today went along with the minister of public works. He's with him. The guy who is responsible for the PPCC guy with him, the procurement guy. He carried all those who supposed to be involved. He carried all of them with him.
No order that one get ended now.
Hey, my man, he went with all of them.
Protector.
Yeah, he went with all of them today, so that these naysayers, these boys, those prophets of doom that are sitting there saying, "Oh, you're not happy, you're not happy," so that the prophet is in there, making sure that the prophecy come to fruition. That every county, Jalawu, your county will be having 8 pieces. About, I think they say how many pieces of equipment you'll be having, 15 or something. Will go to your county, and you will make sure you have your rope. All those feeder rope will be touched, and you'll be coming in town anytime you want to come. You want to go anytime, and your oil price. I hope you drive your oil prices so our Liberian people can, and you know, you might can make exorbitant money, excess profit. If you say you from America and you believe in profit and that
On the Menzari or
they be exploiting our resources.
So,
And be making excess profit and be saying that on the other side. I hope you carry a company over there to transform that oil into other products, not only to get to the palm oil and bring it in town. You know, palm oil can be used for so many products. So you can also create mini factory over there that can transform the palm oil to rubbing oil, do other things with the palm oil, and not to just sit down over there and bring the palm oil in town and say, "Well, go eat it only for cooking." Thank you very much.
We'll take your business advice.
thank you guys. Thank you everyone for listening to us today.
don't put it on the spotlight?
Thank you all who are listening and not commenting that we can see you. We appreciate you. Like I said, today we were supposed to have our guests. I guess they were sleeping because like 20 minutes ago I saw a call coming through. So the guests are from Liberia, my people. So y'all bear with us. The time difference, I guess they fell asleep and they just got it and said, "Oh, what time is it?" But yeah, maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow we'll try to reschedule it. They want to come and talk about our community. Some of those things that we said we were going to be doing here also. Not just talking about the government, but you know what's happening in those communities too. And then maybe sometime we need to showcase those things that it will get the attention of even ordinary people. It doesn't have to be government, but sometimes mostly government officials and ordinary people that want to see that and want to help do some things there too. So, you know, tomorrow, God's willing, we would fist the flyer if we are on point with that. If we are if they give us the red light or green light in, agreeing. Okay, if they give us a green light on it, so would
Yeah.
and then we'll let you guys know. We'll be here to talk about West Point. All my West Pointers show up and rep your is that what I call Gibraltar? Or what place can call Gibraltar? Not West Point?
Gibraltar is right between Vartown, is between Vartown and Clarendon.
Oh, okay.
That region, yeah.
So show up and rep your hood. Not too far from each other. So with that, thank you so much for watching the Ignite the Exchange on Liberal Watch News today on YouTube and Facebook. And we'll see you tomorrow, God's willing. Same time. Hopefully we'll not show up here late, guys. You promised the people. We'll see y'all later. Thank you so much for watching, for joining us. Bye.
Good night.